align with Ariana. I am Ariana, of course, your favorite psychic medium. I am able to go beyond the veil of life and death to connect with spirits that are sometimes nice and sometimes not so much. I want to warn you that my content is very descriptive, very real, and very true. So if you are new to my channel, this might be too much, so enter at your own risk. I want to get into this Tell My Story edition. This Tell My Story edition is going to be of Akia Eggleston. She is very strong in her connection. She is very well able to communicate a few things that happen with her case and where she possibly might be. This Tell My Story edition of Akia Eggleston. Akia Eggleston is here. She's ready to connect. How she feels is very strong, very true. She is trying to find guidance in this situation because she is not happy about how things went or how things had happened. She said that it was a guy that she was connected to. She's mentioning a pregnancy. She's saying very well that she was pregnant. I keep seeing the number 8 as it relates to pregnancy. Possibly she was 8 months or getting close to delivery, or she only had 8 more days to deliver, she keeps saying. So she was very, very close to her delivery. She's saying that the guy that she was talking to, she's talking about some guy named Robert. She's saying Robert is the name. But she's saying the guy that she was connected to and talking to, I don't know if he was the child. She's saying he was the child's father or something, like someone was the child's father, and she wanted no connection with him, but he was obsessed with her. Yeah, obsessed with her. She's saying obsessed with her. She had a few things that she was working on for herself before she had got pregnant, like a few contracts with some type of agency or some type of something she was doing. I don't know if it seems like a modeling agency she was interested in. Acting, possibly. She said acting. It could relate to acting. She had this really, really beautiful smile, I keep seeing. Her connection was that she met him through communications of talking of like exchanging frequency based upon acting or some type of modeling career. And these two were hanging out very much, and they made that instant connection. She said that during her time that she was pregnant, he was very off, very weird. She said that he was very weird and off, that he basically didn't like the fact that things had changed for her, like her body changed, a lot of things. She's saying that she was very fit and like in shape, and like the camera was attracted to her in a different type of way. And then when things had changed with her body, when things like that, her image had changed, this is something that he kind of grew distance of and he didn't want any connection with. She's saying that her mother or sister, someone, possibly a grandmother, I see grandmother, someone that was very close with her, had a connection with her and this child, and was planning on making this child like the child of the family, because it had been a long time in the family. She's saying that since there was a birth that took place with the family, and they were very, very happy about Akia and this pregnancy. She was growing to love it more and more. She didn't like the fact of how it happened, but she's growing to love it more and more. I keep hearing her say that she had long talks with her father. She's saying that her father was very driven. He was driven. He's stern, and he had a vision for her life and what was to come. But he always knew that she would be like in the forefront, in the presence of people. And she's saying that her father wasn't too happy about it, but he grew to love it, and he grew to love it like she grew to love it. She knew that this would be a challenge with a child, and she wanted to take on that challenge. She knew she had enough support. I keep seeing a grandmother's energy that is there and that's present with her, that is trying to get her through this. She is also saying that the guy, she's mentioning a Robert or something named Robert. She's saying that this is the guy that is possibly connected with her missing. She's saying Robert. She's also saying that so what happened was she was getting ready to go. She's saying an event. She's saying some type of event. She was going to a palace or some type of ball or some type of, she keeps saying a palace theme, a ball, a gathering. It was going to feel like a ball, feel like a palace. She was going to be the princess for the day before she extended her crown. So maybe this was some type of gathering she was doing before the birth of her child, or for the birth of her child. She's saying for the birth of her child. So she was getting ready to go, but she realized that it was a white, she's saying a white, possibly a Toyota vehicle that was outside of her apartment, that was sitting there, that I think white Toyota, older white Toyota. It could be a white, she's saying white Toyota possibly, or a car that was sitting outside of her apartment, and she saw the guy that she met. She was very confused by it because she knew that she didn't give him her address. They had no connection like that. So when she showed up looking out the window, he came outside of the windows, outside when she was looking. She's explaining to me that she had some type of vantage point to see him. So I don't know if her apartment was upstairs on a different level or floor, but I'm seeing that she had a vantage point to see him. And I believe that she's saying that she was followed multiple times by him. She said that she put in, I don't know if there was an extra key or something that was close to her door or underneath her door that she had. She said she removed the key because she didn't feel unsafe. She said something about a key under the mat. It sounds like she's saying she took the key up under the mat because she knew that she was being followed. She didn't feel safe anymore, and she didn't know what could happen. But she said that he had this glow in his eyes that made her connect with him. So she said that she had a vantage point of looking and seeing him outside of her window. She heard him, so then she decided to go out and confront him in a way that she felt like this would be the safest thing. She thought that he would just kind of go away and not make any fight or fuss about it, because this was the day that she keeps saying the number 8. But this was the day that she said that she felt like the child was getting ready to be born, and this was the child's most wonderful day, she's saying. So she's saying that she felt like he would go away. He did not want to go away. He did not want to kind of push this issue under the rug. He actually asked her to put the baby up for an adoption. She keeps saying adoption. So he had been attempting multiple times to put the baby up for adoption. She's saying that possibly that he had sent some adoption request or some type of paper. She's saying that it's very important for detectives or anyone that knows information about something, look into the adoption system or adoption papers, because she's saying that he was possibly adopted, and he wanted her to put the child up for adoption. So she's saying look into some type of adoption system or records, and you would possibly see his name and make the connection of what she's describing to me. She is describing a lighter she's describing a light, fair-skinned guy of what she's saying to me. But she's saying that you will see him possibly in the system from where she is at, from where she was, the city that she's in. I'm sensing somewhere cold. I got very, very cold. And she's saying something that starts with an M or somewhere with the M. I keep seeing a B and an M, so that could possibly be hers. That she's saying that is where she was from, B and M. So somewhere cold up north, Maryland. She's saying Maryland. So search the records in Maryland and you will see the guy that is possibly is connected with her by that name. She is also saying, so he did not want to leave this situation alone. He pressed the issue. So he actually brought some type of paperwork to her, stating something about some type of adoption. And he wanted her to fill it out. He said, I found you because I am here so you can fill out this paperwork of some type of adoption or release me or release our child so we can have a life together. So this person I'm seeing is very narcissistic. She's telling me that this person is very narcissistic and very self-serving of their energy, and they were not all the way there, she keeps saying. So she's saying what started the altercation was that she pushed the papers out of his hand. She pushed the papers out of his hand and she pushed his face, and that is when she turned her back on him. She turned her back and started to walk towards back to her apartment to get her phone. She said that she was going to call security or call. She's saying I was going to call my father. She's talking about her father. She's saying that she was going to call her father to come and help her with this situation. She did not even get a chance to run or anything, because the moment she turned her back, he pulled her hair. He pulled her hair. She had her hair like with pins in it, like kind of pinned up. It was like half up, half down, pin with pins in it or something. She had pins in it, and she said that she knew that her cousin, possibly a cousin, could have took her back home, or a cousin was coming to pick her up. Or auntie was coming to pick her up. She keeps saying auntie, or maybe it's an aunt and a cousin that was coming to pick her up to go to this event. And she's saying that she was going to call her dad. So she turned her back towards him, and she was facing him, and she pushed the papers out and pushed his head. She turned her back. That is when he flipped. And I see him reaching for her. So he grabbed around her back chest area and was pushing on her stomach. So it was very hard for her to fight, because she was pregnant and her stomach was big. It was very hard for her to fight. And he was grabbing her like in a hold, trying to suffocate her, like from the chest, stomach area. She caught pains and cramps from her stomach area, and he was pulling her back towards the car, and she was swinging. She was like swinging her arms and fighting. Now, I want to remind you guys that the time that he did this, a lot of people were what I'm seeing, like the reason why no one saw it, because a lot of people, it was somebody that possibly could have saw it, she's saying, but they probably thought it was just a simple altercation. But also I'm seeing that the time that he did it, that it was kind of like it was empty, like the apartment complex, it was empty. It was a lot of people were possibly gone or at work for the day, or out on a day doing their shopping, or gone. So the time that he did it, it was not even, no one was around, no one heard. And she's saying that she did not really make any screaming noises or anything. She just kept saying, get off of me, get off of me. She didn't make any screaming noises because she felt like there was no real threat. And he was squeezing her, trying to take her breath away. She couldn't breathe. So she was using her elbows and what she had, her elbows and her arms, trying to go back and hit him at the same time. He just, from the vantage point where he was able to grab her more and pull her in the direction in the car. When he pulled her in the car, I see him like pulling her in the car, throwing her in the car. Like he pulled her this way from behind and kind of threw her in the car. And I see her head hitting the door, and that was not enough to make her unconscious or anything. But when her head did hit the door, it did throw her off, because she was already losing air from breathing. That when she did hit the door, it was more confusion. She felt like in a daze. She felt like this was not happening. So he got in the car, and when he got in the car, he had some type of not a hammer, but like a wrench, or like a some type of tool, a alley wrench tool, some type of handyman tool. And he took the tool and he grabbed the tool out of the console, reached back, and he hit her with it. And that is when she went unconscious. That is when she could not, and she did not have any means to think to do anything. So he grabbed the tool, reached back, and hit her. Now I see them leaving out of the apartment complex, or out of the complex. And I see like it was a lot of trees by the area. The apartment complex, I'm seeing it possibly could have been white or light blue in color. But I see trees, and then I see, if you come out of the complex, I see if you take a right or take a left. If you take a right, there's kind of like a main road with lights, or possibly a store, some type of building. And then if you go left, it goes back into more residential area. I see the car veering off and going to the left. She's saying the car did go towards the left, towards the residential area. So when you go through the residential area, you're going to keep going on the residential area, like coming out of the apartments. You want to take a right, and then you're going to see another light, which is going to put you on the main road. In this traffic, it's like a four-way crossroad. It's traffic going this way, going. It's a four-way crossroad. And then as you come out of that road, he took another left. Well, the additional left that he took is going to take you on like a route or an interstate, some interstate close by. She's showing me the number 28, or she could be around 28 years old, but she's showing me the number 28. She's showing that it could be the Interstate 28, that he took the Interstate 28 heading in the west direction. So I don't know if they can go back and play video cameras of that day and see a white vehicle leaving around the time that she went missing. But I do see him heading to the west direction on the interstate. So she keeps showing me the number 28. I keep seeing 28. So I keep seeing the white vehicle on 28. I see it was a lot of traffic during that time. She keeps showing me all of the traffic that took place. The road that she went through, he went underneath a bridge-like area. Underneath, it takes you under a bridge. You're going to keep following that out. She's showing me going underneath a bridge, and as you continue to follow that road out, it's going to take you more out to a rural area. So she's saying that he drove out of the city. She's talking about how significant this bridge is. She keeps saying that it's a popular bridge that's close by her apartment, and she went in that direction. She's saying it's a popular or known bridge where she went underneath in that area by where she lives. She keeps saying that it's important to go by the bridge because it's cameras, it's things nearby that can help identify her. She's saying that she's about 5 miles. They went about 5 or so miles down from the bridge area. She's saying that she is not in the city. She is outside of the city. And she's saying that she's outside of the city. She's saying that she is close by. She's showing me images of her being buried, like of something being thrown on top of dirt, being thrown on top of her. She's showing me images of her being buried. No, she is not near water. She's saying that she's close by a few exits There are some exits where there are wooded areas in the exits, and she's deep in the woods in the wooded area by these exits. She keeps showing me a gas station. I keep seeing a gas station 94, something about 94. I don't know if the gas station is 94, but it's blue, and it's dark blue, and it's white, and it's red. She's showing me that she's close by a gas station that's dark blue, white, and red. It might have the number 94, 98, 94, 98. And she keeps showing me that she's very close by. When you get off the exit, when you get off the exit where you see the dark blue and the white gas station, you veer right, and she's off into the left in the wooded area. She's buried close by. The marker would be, it's a tree. The tree is, and this tree might have more of the brown leaves, more of the brown leaves by it or underneath it, more so than others. But she is, if you go off in the wooded area, that is going to be the marking of where I see her there. I do see her that she is covered up in dirt, and she is buried with dirt on top of her. And I keep seeing that once he got her to this place, he choked her, and she couldn't breathe. She couldn't breathe. So I do pick up, you guys, that she is not here. She is no longer here with us. She has crossed over into the next dimension, that her presence is not here on earth, but she is in a wooded area. She keeps showing me images of this gas station, possibly with a 94, 98. The colors are dark blue, white, and red. She is in a wooded area. The exit she's showing me, I'm not seeing an exit number, but she's saying that she went by a bridge or underneath the overpass or bridge. There's a popular bridge in the area of where she went missing, very close by her apartment, possibly within 5 miles. She is showing me all the details as to where she is located. She is ready to be found, and she wants people to know that she loves the support, but she's ready to come home. She wants to still celebrate the day like that she was planning to celebrate in all the new beginnings. She is still connected with the soul that she was carrying, and they are trying together to work together to be found. She is trying very, very hard. I suggest that a search team gets out to the area that's very close by. Like I said, she's showing me the number 28. She's showing me the number 28. It could be close to an interstate or an exit or some type of road. But I do see the car. It's a white vehicle, possibly a Nissan or a Toyota. It's a white car, 4-door, and it's an older model, possibly from the 1990s to the early 2000s model vehicle, and it is going in that direction. I'm seeing something, a license plate might have the letter Z in it. I keep seeing the letter Z in the license plate, the letter Z, and possibly N-A-Z in the license plate. It is moving. She was moving in that direction. He veered off on that exit and took a quick left, and there was a wooded area, and he parked his vehicle at the gas station. He parked the vehicle at the gas station after he had did everything to get her out of the vehicle. He pulled over on the side of the road and pushed her out. He went to go park the vehicle at the gas station, and he walked over there. So I want to thank you guys for aligning with Ariana. If you would like your own personal reading, please visit www.alignwithariana.com for more details